If you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders and anxiety won't let you rest, please know that I deeply understand your journey. So often we get lost in repetitive thoughts that drain our energy and make us feel disconnected from who we truly are. This video isn't just about a technique, it's about a loving path for you to reclaim your inner balance. I am here to walk beside you and show you that there is a gentle way out of those cloudy days you've been facing. Imagine that there is a version of you who has already overcome every challenge and holds the exact answers to your deepest doubts. Quantum double therapy teaches us that we don't have to carry all our uncertainties alone, as we can access a frequency of constant wisdom and peace. I want to show you how this powerful practice works to regulate your feelings, transforming anguish into renewed clarity. You deserve to experience the lightness of living in harmony with the infinite possibilities of healing that the universe offers. Throughout this conversation, I will guide you step by step so you can learn to silence the mental noise and find your safe harbor. Depression and anxiety might try to tell you otherwise, but you have the strength necessary to rewrite your vibrational reality right now. Together, we are going to discover how this special connection can bring the solutions your heart has been searching for so you can flourish again. Stay with me because the answers you need are already knocking at your door, and I am going to help you open it. But after all, what is this quantum double that can reach out to us in moments of such distress? To understand how this help reaches you, imagine that our existence isn't limited only to what we see in the mirror or what we feel at this exact second. Science and spirituality embrace to show us that time is not a rigid line, but rather an ocean of possibilities where everything happens simultaneously. In this vast field of energy, there is a version of you vibrating at a much higher speed than our physical reality. This is your double, a consciousness that inhabits the future and has already traveled every path you are still walking. Think of it as a loving guide who already knows the way out of the labyrinth of anxiety and sadness, and who is simply waiting for your signal to send the best solution to your present. Quantum double therapy, based on the theory of time doubling, teaches us that this connection happens naturally during our sleep, in fractions of seconds we barely notice. When we learn to access this wiser part of ourselves, we stop fighting alone against the shadows of depression and begin to receive updates of well-being and mental clarity, reorganizing our feelings while we rest. Understanding that this wiser version of you exists is the first step toward breathing a sigh of relief, as you realize the burden doesn't have to be carried by your current hands alone. But how, in practice, does this invisible connection touch the wounds of the soul, calming that tightness in the chest from anxiety or the deep void of depression? The answer lies in how our frequencies organize themselves when we stop fighting what we feel and start trusting in a higher intelligence. Anxiety, most of the time, is an excess of future projected with fear. It is the mind trying to solve problems that don't even exist yet. When you activate your quantum double, you hand over these uncertainties to the one who already has the solution, allowing your nervous system to finally relax. It's as if you are delegating the worry to an expert, freeing your body from the need to be in a constant state of alert, which naturally regulates your heartbeat and your breathing. In the case of depression, which often makes us feel stagnant in a gray past or a dead end, double therapy acts as a lighthouse of movement. It reminds us that reality is not static and that, in the quantum field, joy and vitality are already available to you. By tuning into your future self, who has already overcome this phase, you begin to attract small drops of hope and new thoughts that gradually alter the chemistry of your well-being, helping you rise with more lightness with each new dawn. Perhaps, hearing about such a profound connection, you wonder, but how can something so invisible have a real effect on my life? This is where modern science gives us a comforting hug, confirming what our hearts are already beginning to feel. Quantum physics reveals to us that reality is not made only of solid matter, but of infinite waves of possibility waiting for a direction. And that direction comes from you. In science, there is a concept called the observer effect. It shows us that the simple act of observing something with attention and intention changes the behavior of particles. When you are submerged in anxiety, your inner observer, is focused on fear, and it is that reality that ends up repeating itself. But by practicing double therapy, you learn to shift your focus. You stop observing the illness or the anguish and start observing the solution, allowing the collapse of the wave function to bring a more balanced reality to your daily life. Your intention works like a powerful compass. When you decide, with calm and confidence, that you wish to connect with your best version, you are literally reorganizing your vibrational field. This isn't magic, it's about tuning your mental radio station to a healing frequency. By understanding that your consciousness has the power to shape the experience you live, depression loses its power as a prison and starts to be seen as a state that can be transformed through your new way of observing life. With all this foundation of how your mind and science work together, you must be wondering, how can I, today, begin to feel this embrace and receive this help? The path is much simpler and gentler than we imagine, for it requires no physical effort, but rather a moment of surrender and self-care, precisely at the hour when your body prepares for rest. Here is the step-by-step for you to perform this powerful and transformative practice. The most sacred moment for this connection is what we call paradoxical sleep, those few minutes of deep relaxation just before you truly fall asleep. It is in this state that your logical mind falls silent and the portal to your quantum self opens fully. To begin, lie down comfortably, close your eyes, and take a deep breath, letting each exhale carry away the tensions of the day, as if you were emptying yourself of all heavy burdens. With a peaceful heart, direct your thoughts to your double. There is no need for complicated words. Speak to them as you would speak to your best friend, the one who loves you unconditionally and has all the answers. Instead of asking for something specific with anxiety, like, "I want this specific thing to happen," try saying, "I ask that you bring me the best solution for what I am feeling and that tomorrow I wake up with the necessary clarity." This openness allows quantum intelligence to work without the limitations of our fear. The final secret of this practice is detachment. After making your request and feeling that connection, simply let go. Imagine you have handed an important letter into the hands of someone extremely reliable and now you can sleep in peace, knowing the work is being done. By falling asleep in this state of trust, you allow your double to organize your emotions and bring, through your intuition or new feelings upon waking, the relief and answers you sought so hard during the day. With the surrender complete and your heart at peace, you enter your rest knowing you are no longer alone. But how do you notice, upon waking, that this invisible conversation really bore fruit? The answer doesn't always come as a shout, but almost always as a soft whisper that touches your intuition, bringing that clarity that was missing during days of mental confusion. Here is how to identify these signs and the importance of cultivating space for them. The answers from your quantum double usually arrive in subtle ways. A new thought that arises right as you wake up, a feeling of inexplicable calm in the face of a problem that previously caused panic, or even a coincidence that puts the solution in your path during the day. To perceive these messages, your greatest ally is silence. In such a noisy world, anxiety feeds on the din. Therefore, set aside a few minutes of your day to just be, without screens or distractions, allowing the voice of your inner wisdom to be heard. It is in this space of stillness that the regulation of feelings is consolidated. When you stop desperately looking for external exits and turn to this channel you opened during sleep, the answers begin to flourish naturally. Remember that your double does not want you to suffer. It wants you to return to your state of flow and joy. Therefore, trust those sudden ideas that bring peace, as they are the footprints left by your higher version to guide you out of depression. We have reached the end of this conversation, but this is, in fact, the beginning of a new relationship with yourself. I want you to know from the bottom of my heart that depression and anxiety do not define who you are. They are merely passing states that can be transformed when you access the infinite power that dwells within you. You are much more than your fears, and now you have a powerful tool to take back the reins of your happiness. Practice this connection every night, with the patience and care of someone tending to a precious garden. The changes may start small, but they are real and profound. I believe in your healing and your ability to shine again, and know that, from now on, you will never have to seek answers alone again. Sleep with this certainty, and wake up to the life you deserve to live. If this message touched your heart today, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to join our journey of consciousness expansion. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What is the one answer you are seeking from your quantum double tonight? Let's support each other in this space of healing.